Now, tonight we're going to turn our eyes toward China, which may face some rough sailing with the incoming Trump administration. Our guide tonight is an American born scholar who is a certified China watcher. You've seen him on this program before for a reason. We take seriously when he talks. I'm talking, of course, Gordon Chang. He lived there for 20 years as a lawyer for American firms. He's the author of several books about Chinese-American relations, including this new book called Plan Red, China's Project to Destroy America. Gordon Chang, great to have you back on the program. I love the title of your book, China's Project to Destroy America. There's nothing subtle about that. I mean, you kind of jump right into it.
Yes, and because China's regime believes that it must destroy America. In May 2019, People's Daily, which is the most authoritative publication in China, carried a landmark editorial that declared a people's war. People's war is a phrase that has important meaning in Chinese communist history. It means total war. And we see, for instance, they're taking American lives with fentanyl, with other means. They are attacking our country across the board.
One of the ways they're attacking us is in cyber effects, the ownership of TikTok, which is addictive for so many young people. There have even been talks in Congress that there would be a forced sale of TikTok to American interests so that the Communist Chinese Party wouldn't continue to own and control it because of all the ways in which they're siphoning off information about Americans. But this administration with Joe Biden seems to have been rather soft on China policies, whether it's them floating balloons over us or owning TikTok or trying to buy up land. Why has the Biden administration been so reticent to push back on China's aggressive behavior?
There's a lot of reasons. We can talk about the Hunter Biden laptop, about all the Chinese money that has gone into the Biden family, maybe even blackmail because of Hunter Biden's activities, which maybe China has evidence of. But the one thing we know, apart from all of this, is that Biden's views on China across decades have been misguided. As Robert Gates, our defense secretary, famously wrote in his 2014 memoir, Joe Biden has been wrong on nearly every foreign policy and national security matter of the last 4 decades. And China certainly is one of them. He believes we can cooperate with a regime that is attacking us.
You know, the economy is uncertain. You never know whether your money's worth as much today as it was yesterday. It's one of the reasons I buy gold from American Hartford Gold. American Hartford Gold has earned a 5-star rating and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Be sure to tell them Mike Huckabee sent you. They'll give you up to $15,000 of free silver on your first qualifying order. Call 844-417-1010 or text Mike to 998899. You'll be glad you did business with American Hartford Gold. This past weekend, Gordon, there was a very disturbing photo that came out of the summit that was being held. And that photo showed the Chinese president, Xi Jinping, in the center front row, Joe Biden relegated to the back row at the far end of the photo. It was obviously an insult to put the American president in a position that normally would be reserved for a very, very insignificant nation. Not that any nation considers itself insignificant, but there are nations that have greater economic and or military position. For the United States to be forced for its president in a photo, and I know that some people say it's just a photo. There is nothing that is just a photo when you're dealing with the Communist Chinese Party. When you saw that picture, how did you react to that, and what did it say to the rest of the world?
I was stunned, Governor, that President Biden was put in the corner in the back. This is unprecedented. This was a deliberate humiliation of the United States, and it was not the only humiliating event. So, for instance, when Xi Jinping arrived in Lima, Peru for the APEC meeting, which is what you're talking about, he got the red carpet treatment from the host. President Biden got a bare bones arrival when Air Force One touched down. This is something which is not only important, but also it says something about the Biden administration, because our State Department should have negotiated where Biden would be for that family photo, as it's called. And for Biden to accept that place, that was wrong, because that affected not just his personal dignity, That's the dignity and the respect accorded to the United States of America.
I was struck by the fact that people were comparing it to a meeting. I think it was maybe a NATO meeting, may have been a G7, when Donald Trump was going into that meeting, and he literally elbowed his way past everyone to get to the front. And while people criticized it, what he was really demonstrating was, I'm the president of the United States, the most powerful country in the world. I'm not going to be in the back of the line. And criticize him or not, I thought it was a very bold, gutsy, but important move to say, you're not going to put me in the back of the line here. That's not where the United States belongs. It wasn't about him personally. It was about who he represented. And I just thought, what a contrast. Joe Biden willingly goes back and stands at the most humiliating place in the entire photo. Donald Trump would have never tolerated that.
Yeah, you're right. You were referring to the NATO summit where he elbowed aside the Montenegrin leader. And of course, in Europe, Trump took a lot of heat for that. But it did show, as you say, that the United States was not going to be disrespected. And that's important. And symbolism is extremely important for Chinese regimes. And because it's important to them, it should be important to us, because they're using that photo right now to show that the United States is in terminal decline. So it has real world consequences, Governor.
The economy of China continues to struggle in some ways, but I think the Chinese have made it very clear. They don't plan to coexist with us. As you said at the beginning of our conversation, it's all about destroying us. It's not a matter of let's all get along, but let's put America under our heel. And I'm just not sure a lot of Americans fully understand that that is the agenda. It is not a shared world. It is a conquered world.
That's absolutely right. And here are the consequences. China has been using fentanyl to kill 70 to 75,000 Americans a year. This is a project that is run from the top of the Communist Party. We have had administration after administration fail to recognize that, and Americans are dying as a result. These are our neighbors, these are our friends, these are family members, and China is killing them without consequence.